Welcome back, everyone, to Gold Squadron podcast coverage of the X-Wing World Championship. This is day 2. This is elimination. Win or go home. At the end of the day, we'll have a World Championship. We're watching the top 64 round. Yes, like last round, we had 30 buys. Now everyone's in, right? I'm joined here by my partner Travis from the Carolina Crates. Travis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Doing great, and I'm really excited. Speaking of world champions being crowned, we've got a 3-time world champion on the table today. We've got Paul Heaver on the left, and we've got Pierre Buffiere on the right. And Paul's playing a list we've seen a couple times in this tournament already, right? Sunfuck, Chertek, Grievous. We've seen you play. We've seen Jeremy play. It's been 3 days. We've seen it in all sorts of different variations. On Pierre's side, though, we're seeing some Rebel salad that we haven't normally seen. Could you break down that list for me?
Yeah, I was going to say, at first glance, I just sat down. I was going to say, oh, this looks like a pretty traditional Rebel beef, but that's not true after kind of digesting it. You see the typical Cassian with the Leia and the wedge. However, the rest of that's the typical Rebel backbone. However, what we see here is he opted in for the Jan Ors to really have punching power, and really I suspect the Bandit here is what fit last, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cheap piece, but
cheap piece, maybe a blocker, possible, right? Yeah.
Possible blocker, but also just an extra 2 dice that really kind of after people have spent tokens, Wedge is hitting hard, the U-wings hitting hard, Jan Ors is making sure something is hit hard, but that last piece still hits hard. 2 dice start mattering when everyone's spent their tokens, everyone's exhausted. That last shot matters. Right?
Yeah, and you see here tokens getting cleared off. No token clear for Jam because we've got Moldy Crow here. And these tokens that you're going to see on the board today were provided to us by CurledPawCreatives.com. They're our sponsor this week. They help make this happen. If you haven't been with us, if you haven't joined us here and you're just tuning in for the first time, we have 3 stream tables here. We've got 8 full-time staff members, 6 commentators on you. This is an incredible operation, and this is our day 4 of it. And so we're so glad you can join us here for this World Championship. There's no place I'd rather be as a player. There's no place I'd rather be as a fan. We've got a special coupon code for you, Worlds 2019, for 15% off your order. There's no limit at that. You have your X-Wing accessories. You've got your new Keyforge. You've got your board game tokens. They help make this possible, and you can support us by using that coupon code. So now, it looks like Dial's down here for the second round. Paul's, keeping his options open, right? Mm-hmm. He's kind of facing this way, but could face any other way. We've got Sunfuck going here, so no real clear engage path yet.
Right. Typically with this list,
absolutely. Thank you,
I'm very interested to see what the crowd
I want to
thinks
see
at
the
this
chat, yeah.
So typically with this list, we've seen sort of a bell curve, right? Mm-hmm. So we've had my end where we didn't do very well. Though my games were very close. That's sort of the feedback I gave Paul going in from the LCQ is that I actually had sort of the bad Swiss version of this in the sense I had a lot of medium and large base and still had a very high punching power with the list,
right.
Which is very good optimism.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't make the final Swiss, that's very good news for this list, right? Hey, even when I hit the large bases, that thing really did well.
Yeah.
Right? I had close games. It was hard, but, it's
very winnable, yeah.
Right. So we have this here. We also have Mike Jim playing the list 6-1, had his first round bye going into finally going into the cut with his first round bye. So we have 2 of these lists left. But what I was going to get in here is he likes to keep generally speaking, we like having the Chertek and Grievous here because you have this, we jokingly call it the slingshot, but you have the ability to move Grievous with either double boost, double barrel roll, boost and barrel roll. It allows a surprising amount of flexibility to adjust, basically, right? You're saying he hasn't really committed, which is true, and it allows him to really flex based on what he sees on the board.
Exactly. So a lot of times here we can see this Grievous go anywhere here, and then he's got all this bubble, right? From the tractor, as you mentioned, you can assign that tractor with ensnare, right? Rotate his arc, and then put Grievous really wherever you want. So if you're Pierre here, you really have to keep an open mind on where everything is. You have to see not just the maneuvers and, the basic remaneuver, but also this tractoring that you can go on. It's a little bit underrated aspect. I think when a lot of people look at this list, talk about this list, I think, oh, you can tractor your opponent on the rock. True. Definitely true. Very powerful. But you can also tractor yourself. The engage is everything here, right? So having all those options to maneuver around pre-engage allows Paul to get the perfect engage here. And if he plays it correctly, gets the right engage and really can take an advantage there.
Right.
Dial set down here for both players, starting with the I-1.
Yeah, I'm almost more curious how the Rebel player is going to handle this.
Yeah.
And it appears, We're so is Paul, gaining information as things are moving. He's chosen to kind of keep wide.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, hey, I don't really know what Paul's doing, so I'm going to kind of stay away from the rocks. I have the ability to turn in later. I could even kind of go straight another set of turns.
Yeah.
Free damage.
Free damage, and looks like takes the damage from the U-wing here. Yeah. Again, 4 straight just getting out there. Very little chance Paul just turns up here, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it all World Championship, engages everything, players taking their time, right?
Right.
Don't want to commit right off the bat.
Yeah, Paul didn't gain a lot by having a commitment this early. I mean, there's no real danger here of the whole final salvo threat. No one's really doing this. Paul's not really threatening the final salvo.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really, the Rebel player correctly hasn't really committed either.
Yeah.
And sort of, it's like you said, a game of engagements. And
yeah.
It was just too early for either of them to really see what they're trying to get. They're getting a feel for each other.
Exactly. So we've talked at length about this Sunfok. Everyone's talked about these ships coming into Worlds. What does the perfect engage look like here for Pierre?
It's rough, right? I'm as sort of like getting used to from the Paul side of things. The Rebel list is a very interesting list. I feel like he really does want the engage more here. Or actually sort of in here because it's a little safer.
Right.
That's not perfect. I'm not 100% on that. But since he chose this, I would have actually much preferred, if I was the Rebel player, to have started here.
Okay, yeah.
And slow rolled. That's not perfect, but, I mean, he went much faster. So based on where I'm going in here, I mean, at this point I may literally loop around, but that's very, very slow. I'm not sure I want to do that anymore. I actually kind of predict the 2-turn in because he can kind of, like, even with the 2-turn, you're thinking, oh, there's these rocks here. He can kind of go fast past them, right?
Yeah.
He's not really that, they're not that threatening. But I don't really understand the kind of engage he wants to get here because he's kind of jumbled up. Which is I bet Paul's trying to figure that out too, to be honest.
Yeah, and here we've got our first shot here. Just a plinker, range 3, through a rock. Yeah, and so players grabbing their dice, sharing these dice pool, getting the right amount. Just 2 out the side arc here. Spends the focus. 3, I believe, 4, that's right. Range and rock. Oh, and takes another one.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of free damage for Paul on this.
Yeah, so 2 free damage off the bat off this U-wing. And again, that U-wing has Leia. When we see this Rebel Salad and we see, especially in like a 4U variant, Leia tends to be the first target, right? You want to get Leia off the board. It's very likely Pierre gets that one Leia off, but you're one-eye limiting the amount of times Leia gets to go off in a game.
So speaking from someone that was in the Swiss and also speaking from other people, like talking with people in the Swiss this weekend, it's a surprising amount of people have very little Nantex experience on both sides, including the Nantex players themselves, but especially the opponent side. And so sometimes medium-based players feel confident. Hey, I have a medium base. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Well, in this play, Paul can potentially get that medium base.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. It just takes 2.
It just takes 2, and he has it. Now, again, it's positioning. He needs to be, I'm not saying he's going after it. He's not really going. But if the opportunity presents itself, he can go get that medium base.
Right.
So it depends if Pierre thinks he's safe or not. He may feel safer than he may actually be.
Right.
It could be a lack of experience, or if he's only experienced single Nantex list.
Exactly.
And it could be his only single experience.
Yeah.
And he may have that inexperience may make him feel safer than he is. He may have correctly identified it as well. I'm not sure. I'm trying to project here. All the other ships are not safe.
Right.
See, this is the
turn in. Yeah, good call here, Travis, on this turn in.
And I think this is okay. I mean, you see the rocks, but he's pointing in direct, like, Paul really doesn't want this engage either, right?
Yeah.
I think this is an okay turn in here. I don't really know where he wants this ultimate engage to be, but I think this is a safe turn in here.
Go too hard here. Yeah, again, just getting that turn in.
Right, and and Paul has to respect the Leia the whole game.
Right.
Right, because even if Sunfac wants to come in here, the Leia allows him to still, he can actually still come back in on Sunfac. So Paul actually has to kind of respect the Leia.
Yeah. So Grievous here, a little bit trailing behind, right? Just want to stay in the back here. And then one turn again. We'll see if we get in a repositioning out of this Grievous here. Again, we talk about danger and safety for Pierre here. One of the things about these Nantex fighters is 4-hole, right? Is behind some agility, is pretty defensive, but as you just see Pierre through 4 dice, no mods, right?
Mhm.
Took two, right? Took one off the bat and took one a little bit earlier. If that happens to one of the Nantex fighters, that's half, right?
Right. So speaking of that, this experience over the weekend,
Mhm.
Paul had a Danger Swiss. So
Right.
he lost the game early because of Panic Pilot. Range
yeah.
3 obstructed shot on his Sunfac.
Yeah.
1 crit, right? He had evade, range 3. Panic Pilot, Sunfac can't get away. Instant death. Once that got early engagement, game over.
Right.
He almost lost another game because he went into the cut 5-2, almost lost another game, almost the exact same scenario. Again, they're effectively interceptors. So the argument about just shoot them is both correct and incorrect.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, but on the other hand, it works.
Exactly, right. Yeah, and we see that a lot, not just with Nantex fighters, but Fang fighters like Fenrao, 4-hull. Same scenario, right? Sneaking a crit in there, fuel leak early, or maybe a damage engine, completely changes
Panic
the
Pilot, same
exactly.
thing, right? Fenrao, ooh, okay.
Yeah. See Sunfac, yeah. So
So
Wedge might have a shot here. It's likely what Paul's thinking about here. Might not want to take that shot, right? Because I think Jan can pump.
that's right.
Yeah, so looking at 4 on 5 potentially. Again, still, yeah.
Yeah. Paul grabbed the wrong
Yeah.
token and ensuring that his opponent understands that that is not a calculate.
Yeah, and so we're start of, I believe, engagement. Now we're looking at the ensnare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, debating this ensnare here, whether he wants to move Grievous or not.
So
Again,
it would be
this
a
arc
straight
might be
boost.
dangerous, right?
Right. So it's a straight boost or a barrel roll into the cloud.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's also has to consider, well, if I do that, what's my next turn look like?
Yeah. So Wedge going first. Again, Paul outbidding here, so Pierre, excuse us, it has the first player token on these 6s. No shot from Wedge.
All right.
Again, range 3 obstructed again. Saw that plink damage earlier. Probably Paul looking for the same thing here.
This time he has a focus token.
Yeah.
A much better position. All right.
And just one, yeah. Pierre needing some paint here with a focus to. This time has a
bucket of
focus
dice.
stone. Okay, yeah. And so Jan, nothing there.
It looks like he's taking the tactic of Jan is literally just there. He's playing a 3-ship list at this point.
Right.
Not permanently, but at the engage, he's playing a functionally 3-ship
Yeah.
list. All right.
And it's just out here. So in that range 4 band, this is the most exciting time for me. And let's see, Cassian, before we get there.
Yep.
Okay. So Cassian range 3 into Grievous.
And
There's the Jan. And I think that's pretty relevant, right? 4
Right.
with focus here is not insignificant.
It is not. He will have Solus 1. That's relevant. There it is.
Oh,
4
yeah.
dice. Right, and he will have the Solus because he already didn't get to shoot. And there, so it just takes one.
Yeah.
That is not a bad. Could be much worse.
Yeah, I think both players here are okay with that, right? Pierre's just looking for some damage, and you see the power of Jan early on, right? The Hawk games we've casted before are all mucks, right? Mucks. Here we go getting Jan, one of my favorite come-overs from 1.0. I love getting that extra die, right?
Right. Now this is an interesting engage, right? I think there's a pretty easy swing for the Rebels at this point. Paul's positioning is odd because it's an easy swing, right? This is not much difficult. Like these just want to kind of come in. He does have the threat. If he really wants to bite in on the Sunfac, you do the Leia turn where you stop and rotate and then turn. But I don't think there's really a need to do that. I mean, he can. I mean, it's a threat. I don't want to say that it's a bad move.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he would need to because he can just kind of threaten here. There's not a huge escape unless these guys super – and this – he can't really bail unless he one turns and, like, bails out, and then he's cornered, right? So that's real dangerous. So I don't think Paul wants to do that because it's just sort of putting Chertik on a clock, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to get out of that corner.
And you never want to be pursued, right? Like, you always want to be taking the
Nantex
here.
really can't escape. So
exactly,
what's funny is they're both fast and slow. It's a weird concept. These Nantexes are very odd, right? So they're very, very fast if they're going in a straight line. But because they can't bank boost, they're not fast if they have to, like, bank.
Drive,
right?
Yeah.
So pursuing stuff, they're very terrible at pursuing certain things unless they get to chase in a straight line.
Yeah.
They got to turn, boost, straight, turn, boost, straight, or go straight line, straight. And so, like, getting in a corner, he'd have to, like, turn, boost. Like, anyone coming in can just intercept them. And that's the thing. Like, getting cornered with an Nantex is just they'll find it, they'll shoot it, they'll kill it.
Yeah. And so normally, again, when we see them maneuver, really, the Nantex, and usually we're getting Nantex on Nantex action here with the ensnare. Doesn't look like we'll have that this turn, right?
Yeah. I don't hate, now that I see that this is a pretty easy call. Now, it's scary. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to. The problem with the Nantex is everything's scary. The one turn here into this cloud for defensive bonuses and just say, hey, you can shoot Chertik if you want. But that also, if he survives, which I don't know the math off this head, it just feels scary. Yeah. But the odds are probably not terrible. Yeah. That gets you behind, right? I mean, then you have to do the Leia K turns and all this other stuff, but like then you got some ensnaring stuff that's fun. Right. that's a real option.
Where do you see with Sun Fok here? Does he just kind of punch in and try to get behind Wedge again, or is he a little bit on the clock to be able to impact the game here more?
See, the scary part is I think the real answer is that there's two things with this list is that we've learned is that you're always on the clock. Yeah. Right? You're kind of always on the clock to engage, and that you're always sort of on a damage race even if you don't feel you are because of the scariness of this. And so I almost feel like the most ace players would do this. I don't think that's an actual option for him. Okay. Just because if he comes in here, sure, Sunfac's safe, but these are in danger. Yeah. Tick tock, right? Right. And he's not going to seal the game out unless those U-wings start dying. Yeah. I think he actually has to kind of either 3-turn. I don't see the board sake. We have a sort of an angled or whatever the bank fits. And he basically has to come in here and be able to do that or straight in and do the ensnaring stuff. Yeah. Does that mean he's susceptible to the Leia stop rotate? Yes. But that's the risk that you're taking.
Also susceptible here from Pierre just taking wedge and going one bank, right? Yeah. Also taking that shot, you have Jan. You've seen it already, right? -1 agility, +1 dice. It feels so bad if you're Sun Fok to take that. Yeah.
No, that can't happen.
Exactly.
Paul literally cannot have that happen. Yeah. And we have the arc here, right? So that's the problem. I think the bank was always off the table. He actually does need the turn because of the rotated arc.
Right. And again, because if he wants to rotate, he has to rotate off the arc.
So he needs it pointed forward so that the ensnares are pointed forward. Yeah. All right. So again, as we suspected, the banks are probably the safest and not bad maneuver whatsoever for the Rebel player. I basically agree with this. There's no reason to super bank in hard on Sunvac. On the off chance he did go straight or something, you're super out of position. No reason to do it, right?
Exactly, right.
You have Leia. You just white 4K next turn, right? I mean.
Oh, and here's Grievous.
There it is. That's not bad, though. No more U-wing hit.
Okay. Yeah, that's true, right?
Like, yeah, no mods, but, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Now, but the thing is, with the Jan thing, now he's got a 3 or 4 die shot from a Z. Yeah.
And probably won't be able to initiative kill it if he has no mods here.
Well, it depends on what Chertik did. That makes it a real chance to start initiative killing things.
Chertik can also tractor here, and maybe does that barrel roll left or up fit?
Yeah, well, so it depends on how Chertik fits.
Again, we are at a little bit of a tilt here. Yeah. And I think you've called the one hard. Yep. It's almost like you've played this list before, Travis.
Hey, gas clouds are pretty good defensive bonuses. Yeah. The thing is, he can't really get the ensnares he wants. He's just safe. But he also knows he's already kind of safe. I mean, he's got the Z shot here. Yeah. But the Z's going to really want to shoot Grievous here. I mean, why not, right? Yeah. I guess that's mathematically not going to be a range 1 shot, or it's pretty close, right? I'm just using the
medium base.
The medium base is 1.5, and there's a little gap there, but I suspect it's a range 2 shot. Right? So he's planning for next turn. Yeah.
Again, opting for the tractor here, likely not getting the ensnare off. No, rotating, yeah. And 3 bank with Jan here. Now that's a gun that could be pointing towards Chertik here.
That's not blue on those, are they? Is that? I haven't seen a hawk dial in forever.
Yeah. So we can always take a look.
I just feel like.
Oh, it's white. Yeah.
Didn't she stress though?
Might still be stressed.
Because Jan requires a stress to do the thing, or right? Yeah. Am I wrong?
I see 3 Leia charges out there. Does have 3 focus tokens, but I don't see any stress, and I don't see any removal or any action right now from Jan.
Cassian, guys. Cassian.
Oh, yeah, of course. Jeez.
Cassian. I didn't even check chat. I got it before chat, guys.
At the start of activation. There it is. There's the chat.
I saw it before chat.
We're doing great, guys. We're doing great. All the commentators looking right over, wondering what all the Cassian's about.
But, all right, see, so this is the scary turn, like I said. Oh, so this is what I was worried about that bank.
Again,
So-
yeah, that arc pointed.
So he
the
won't get
pointing,
ensnares, and the bank. So, but he knows the board better. So we have the tilted board. So he hit a rock.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're making.
I mean,
sure
he gets
we'll
the
keep our hands.
Did he not? About to find out. I don't see a die
There
roll.
is a die roll coming. No, looking at
I
actions.
see
yeah,
actions.
Yeah.
I see some tractors too. Boy, do we see some tractors.
So Janars has that mobile arc pointed.
So he's not going to get a shot though, too. That's why I mean, but he has the board position that I don't see.
Yeah.
If he doesn't think the turn fits, then the turn doesn't fit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So.
Checking to go all the way back here. Maybe looking for that front. Yeah, and he's going to rotate that front.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have any shot here. He's
no,
pre-positioning.
super no shot there.
Yeah, he's pre-positioning.
Yeah.
So Jan's going to get a 2-die shot on 2-die shot, right? And that's
Actually
the life.
rotating to the other side.
Yeah, yeah. He's got the easiest turn in next turn, right?
Again, next turn
By the way,
pretty significant, but this turn not. Right.
By the way, next turn he is 100% threatening to rock that U-wing.
Yep. Oh, that's true. Yeah,
'Cause,
he needs the 2 tractor.
That U-wing
yeah.
either has to, because the Leia turn's a real threat next turn, right?
Yeah.
That U-wing would normally stop.
Right.
That means he knows exactly where that U-wing will be. I promise you that's a real, at least potential threat to ensnare that.
Yeah, and the debate here for Paul is ensnaring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ensnaring onto the
Yep,
U-wing.
so we got it. So, yeah, Churchick's at full defensive capabilities here. And so, also, when we were talking about like the Jan Orr's 2-on-2 shot here, that's a real shot on Churchick again.
Yeah,
so
again.
that's the thing he's banking on. It's like, hey, you want to shoot something?
Yeah.
Right? You want to? It's your only shot on.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's – I mean, I think the Rebel player should actually plow into Churchick. There's a real chance you kill him. I mean, it's a probability cloud, right?
Yep.
I don't think you kill him, but –
So wedge at range 2.
So 3 dice still because of the cloud.
Looking
3
to see if
defensive.
he's going to Jan here.
I would.
There it is. Stress
Yeah,
down.
you absolutely should.
So 4 here. No
This is
mods.
your
Remember,
best-
wedge got
This
wedge
is still
bumped.
your best
yeah.
shot. Absolutely your best shot. Because even with the gas cloud, there's no mods. This is your best shot.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
Ooh,
Hit
cursed.
crit.
Oh no. Paul doesn't realize I get to watch his game. Every
Yep.
game I've watched him,
Just
he's pulled
take
a
a
panic
crit.
pilot. Every game I've watched.
Oh, crack shot. Blinded fuel leak onto Churtek.
It could be way worse than that.
Yeah.
So
No crack shot left on wedge. Yeah. Yep. So it looks like Jan here, right?
mm-hmm. He's got the cloud though.
Yeah. 3 against 4. Focus here for Pierre. Oh, there's the crit
Just do
down
that.
there with the fuel leak.
Just do that. Easy.
Oh, seems good.
Easy.
Natty's in the chat.
Easy.
That few.
Not natties. The cloud helped.
The cloud. Oh, yeah, you're right. 1 on the cloud.
There it is.
Yeah.
No rerolls for Grievous though. Yep.
So again, Grievous here. No special powers here. Just 3 on 2. 2 hits.
Easy.
Okay, yeah. Okay, wedge shields down now.
Again, damage spread though, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically the U-wing was free damage, so
Yeah.
Paul hasn't really done anything. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
measuring for obstruction here, Rain, right?
Yep. He gets no cloud here.
Yeah.
I choose the unobstructed. Bold choice, Paul.
Okay,
Yeah.
not obstructed. Attacker chooses there.
Range 1. Yep.
3 versus 2? Yeah, that's open wings.
The
It's an
tractor
open
doesn't
wings,
matter.
yeah.
Yep. Nah,
Oh,
nothing.
just 1. Okay, yeah. And then range, let's see.
2 dice into a
Yeah,
cloud.
so range 2 there. Not quite range
Still
1.
trying to tag Churchick. I still agree with this maneuver.
I think it's on Grievous, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he has arc.
Oh, if that.
Yeah. So one rolls out, gets a reroll here. Just the one. Oh, focus.
Nope.
That's right. Yeah. Grievous. And reroll here for Grievous.
Okay.
There's the one.
Yeah. Souls
Okay,
one. Pretty
yeah.
good strategy.
So shield down on Grievous as well. Okay. Fuel leak again. Fuel leak.
This is
Blinded
fine.
pilot on
This
short
is
take.
fine.
This is absolutely fine.
All
I
right.
clenched a little bit when I saw that crit come out.
No kidding. Imagine the reverse order.
Yeah.
All right, so surviving the turn, like I said, it was a clinch moment. This is
Yeah.
what I meant by the. So I like the move, the glass cloud. He went and did it.
Mhm.
It's scary. The very good crack shot, but nonetheless. Now, what I mean, Wedge needs the 1 forward to have a real shot here.
Yeah.
We're talking about some ensnare city here.
Yep. Plenty of options around here. What are you looking for, Travis? You talked about the U-wing right before combat started. Is that
think-
still the target here?
I think you should, because what happens is at the U-wing 180s,
Yeah.
right? Now you're giving up a lot. Like the 4K probably shouldn't be done because you'll block it.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3Ks on the so the problem is that it's a bad Leia turn except for the U-wing, but the U-wing really kind of wants to be in that fight to threaten a shot.
Right.
And I think you should. So if I'm the Rebel player, I hate that this is a bad. Don't get me wrong. I hate this. It makes me feel bad inside with my Leia.
Mm-hmm.
But I want that U-wing fired.
Right.
Right now, the U-wing doesn't fire. Right. Or I guess you could just. I'll take it back. You don't need a Leia. I still want to. I want to U-turn I want to U-turn the thing.
Yeah,
Let's
you
not
can
blow
still
you
take
away.
the stress,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You have Cassian, right? Which we
Look at me-
definitely
look
want
at
to
me
figure
not
out.
being the. Look at this. I just assumed that they would Leia it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's assume that you don't Leia it and be smarter. All right. So you turn the thing. The reason is that almost ensures that Paul either needs to dodge the arc with his the way he maneuvers his tractors,
Mhm.
or he really basically has to ensnare it to roll it onto the rock.
Yeah.
Right. And that dictates who he's ensnaring.
Right.
That means it's not Wedge.
Yeah.
It's not the Z. It's a bit because otherwise, if he doesn't do that, it is Wedge.
Yeah.
And that could mean Wedge doesn't shoot. It might not be Wedge on a rock, but it might be Wedge out of arc.
Yeah.
Right. People get focused on being thrown rocks, but almost every ensnare is more about not being shot.
Yeah. It's about manipulating where your opponent is, right?
It's
Now,
much less about being thrown on a
everyone
rock.
wants to be thrown on a rock,
Sure.
right? But it's not always going to be able to happen, and you can get roughly the same influence, right?
Yeah.
Just taking them out of
I
combat.
care way more about not being shot than throwing you on a rock.
Yeah.
And so I think the 180, and basically because there's no way to really dodge it, or like I said, he would have to the one turn is basically auto right here.
Yeah.
I mean, he could do a 3 because he wants the barrel roll, so it doesn't have to be one turn. But I like the one turn because he doesn't have to reposition, because he's going to either do because it lets him see the board state, rotate forward or rotate to the side. But if he does the 180. Then he would either need to arc dodge by barrel rolling.
Right.
So it dictates a barrel roll reposition. Same here, right? He's probably not doing the one turn because he doesn't want to hit the cloud. He might as well have an action, right?
Yeah.
So that's either the 2 or 3 turn. Paul knows what it is based on the board state. And again, that dictates on the 180. Oh, I have to, once again, he's
Get out of
dictating
arc,
my.
right, yeah.
And again, it's either forcing the reposition he doesn't necessarily want or forcing the ensnare. So you're still bullying Paul to do things you want. You're getting a say in it.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, you're opting out. You're literally giving up a lot of
Doors
agency.
open for Paul
Right.
just to have every option that he wants.
Because at least this is one of those things that we talked about, like blocking mind link in the old days. It's like it matters because you're taking away some of the things I get to do.
Yeah.
If you don't, I just do everything I want.
Right, exactly.
Right. I mean, this is the jockeying for position thing. Paul gets to do some of the things. You're never going to take everything Paul did away, but you get some say in it if you want. This is what I'm saying.
So dials up here. I1 looking for this 3 bank to clear. They're going to mark the U-wing.
Huh. Maybe he's trying to exit. I don't know if he's going to get to exit, though. Let's see. It could just be the Zed.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Canada and Britain has already gotten to me. I said Zed.
You might as well be
Can we
consistent
strike that
at this
from the
point.
record?
No, I think we're okay. I'm going
right.
to keep it around.
All right. The reason I'm scared of this, we'll see what the rest of it is. This seems to me like, hey, I'm going to run. I don't think Wedge can leave.
Yeah.
Wedge is not fast enough. And that's what I'm a little nervous.
Looks like the U is right, yeah.
But it was this signaling to me, and that's signaling to Paul. Paul's like, oh, you're trying to leave, are you, Wedge?
Yeah.
Aha. I don't know. I don't think this is the false agency problem, because this is now going to dictate Chertek's ensnare arc. He's going to set up a double, saying, "Okay, I'm going to set up this one that Sunfac can't reach. Then I'm going to set up the one that Sunfac gets to react to."
Yeah.
So he's going to set up an ensnare arc for Chertek for the ones that Sunfac can't get. So he always gets wedge.
Yeah. And again, those small bases just needing one, right? You're not looking for the double. If you get two, that's great. Oh,
yeah, this is just
This is just Grievous.
This is the sloop, right? Hey, girl.
Yeah, it is a sloop.
All right, so this means he didn't do the
no
one turn.
hard. Yeah.
And again, he didn't have to. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's the 1 through 3 turns are super open.
Yeah.
Hey, girl. This is the full. Well, I mean, it's not focused, but Grievous is online.
Yeah.
So he's trying to set up. The Rebel player is setting up his. So it's the 2-turn that fit. Now we know. All right. Now Paul's walking through his. So he can't barrel left. He can barrel right. He probably can't tractor forward. Again, we have a parallax problem.
Right.
Oh,
So,
yes, yeah. Shocking. He can almost certainly catch. Yeah. He rotate to the left, probably. Maybe even to the forward. Just get the Z. The ZZ. Yeah, you can, Zed.
Yeah, you can go back there.
This is not a real
Again,
barrel.
Paul saying aloud all his different options here. Right? He can go back and go forward. He swung the arc.
They.
Do you have Z's in Russia?
They sort of. It's a Z. They just say Z. I don't remember the letter, though. I never really pay attention to the letter. I think it's still Z. Yeah, they're very British. Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Like I said, he now sees everything, right? This is the problem with the not problem with the Nantex, but if you get what I mean, in the sense that he gets information from your lower pilot skills, so he knows that you're trying to run.
Yeah.
He found Jan.
Yeah.
He's also going to try and get wedge.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't want wedge, based on
He
what
can
wedge
have
did,
Jan now,
he can have
yeah.
Jet. And this is the scary part, because Jan's not staying there. There's no real bump here unless Paul chooses it to stay a bump.
Yeah.
Right?
And so just looking at what you mentioned before, these arcs, setting up where Sunfok can't get, looking up here. That means maybe Sunfok coming down here right after a turn, something like that.
So, like, for instance, this works. Now she's range 1
Of Grievous.
range 1 Chertik rerolls, no arc. Is this a Talon? He doesn't care anymore.
He's
Nope,
out.
he's out. Okay. Wedge is gone.
Cool.
Cool. Turns out it was Jan the whole time.
Yeah.
And so, also, he's going to be able to do this. Turn, and he can reposition ensnare with Grievous.
Yeah.
So Grievous is not even really here. Turns out no one was anywhere the entire game. I don't even know where they're at. Paul doesn't know. Paul asking his opponent if he wanted to stay there so he could throw him on the rock. Opponent says no. Pierre says no. Thank
Very
you.
politely, Pierre says no, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
But this is also exactly. So this is the scary part for the Rebel player. He has split up.
Yeah.
He is now being able to be picked. Guess what Paul doesn't want any part of? U-wings.
Yeah.
But you know what he can also take a part of? U-wings, because
Yeah.
he has 2 Nantexes.
Right.
He just probably doesn't want. He can just go isolate.
This is really tough.
Did he choose to block? He did choose to block. Guess what, though? None of this matters.
Yeah, because it's after you execute, not fully, right?
I bet you he rotates his arc. So he could boost forward if he wants it. There it is. He's going to rotate to the left. What a bold choice, Paul.
Again, might not have the double ensnare, but you just need the one.
Well,
to
he
be
can get. He
tracked
can.
in.
I mean, no one's.
Oh, he can give it
shooting
to
him.
Grievous.
Yeah,
really,
he can give it to Grievous.
Yeah.
So this is where he's gonna activate both his ensnares just to do it, to give him his options. Yep.
Yeah, there's
he's
the
gonna
jam.
he's gonna say, all right, do I want to move her? There's not really a reason not to move her, because he should be able to position her where Jan doesn't get to shoot Chertik. Right. It's gonna be that shot there. There's now no bump, and he can just hand it to Grievous for no reason. He can just choose if he wants to move Grievous now or not.
And then going to roll out of the Arc of Jan here. Looks like Paul saw that and said, hey, I'd rather not get shot.
Hey, I don't like being shot.
And now Jan has no shot.
No shot.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the thing that's overlooked. So I wanted to bring it up later. This is a good time to remember. The problem, not problem, one of the beauties and problem for the opponent with the Nantex is it's so hard. It's sort of like what's decision overload.
Yeah.
For when you're trying. The ensnaring yourself part of it is just too much for an opponent to. You can't, as the opponent, keep that in your mind the whole game.
Right.
And it's sort of like that, like things that you giving your opponent things to have to remember too much of. So I don't think Jan lives. I don't care how many tokens she has. She has 1 agility.
So it looks like Sun Fok here.
Should have 4v1, no mods.
Yeah.
Could be bad. 2, pretty average. Versus 1. Okay.
Yeah.
That's shields. Chertek has the dream bullseye, I think. We'll find out in a second.
Wedge nothing, Jan nothing. Now 4s.
Yep.
No shot really for Pierre.
All right, so Chertek doesn't get to
have it.
shoot. Yeah, so she gets just a random shot on Wedge.
Pierre probably feels good about that. And
no mods on this cloud. Well, not no mods.
Yeah. Then blinded there.
Focus.
Oh, no. They have blinded coming into play there. The perfect eyeballs.
So Grievous with 2 rerolls. There it is. There it is, folks. She cannot live. 1 agility.
Yeah.
Yeah, focus. Do what you want.
Hit, crit.
Yep.
And that's a dead Jan Ors. Really good engage here from Paul, who probably had a tough one before, taking those 2 crits on the Chertek, losing half. Again, staying composed, knowing the next turn's going to matter, and eliminating Jan. That's so huge for Paul, just to get that Jan off the board. You really want that Jan to be pumping your other shots, right?
Yep. So now the question Paul is asking himself, I don't know the answer, by the way, is chase Wedge or just go solidify this? I feel like the answer is just knock Wedge out, so you're the king.
Yeah.
The U-Wing's always a problem. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty easy set of Leia turns here for like a free Talon. Ooh, I like this. I don't know. Remember, we have a sort of a parallax. So when I say parallax error, it just means that we're looking at this at an angle. So that means that we're not, it's
not a perfect look. We're not over the table.
Right,
yeah.
Which Paul can just look down. But I suspect that this turn plus this and rotate that way stops that Talon roll, which would put him on a rock. So he has to do that 4K specifically if he doesn't want to get rocked. That means his opponent has to remember that.
Yeah.
It's very specific. I'm just saying. Remember where you kind of dial in. He has to remember that was never a thing that he's allowed to do.
Yeah.
Does his opponent
and again,
remember that?
Like if you just take away this entire wave, right? And you just think about where you can be. If you know that Talon roll fits, you're usually okay with that, right?
You want to be closer. Why wouldn't you want to be closer?
Exactly.
Your wedge. Why
would
you want to
not
range
just that,
shot?
but you're looking at maybe your normal actions, right? You're looking at action bars and things like that. Again, being able to do all of this maneuvering, you mentioned it earlier, it's so hard to keep track of, right? And I like this play here on wedge, mainly because it's going to take a turn, right? It's going to take a turn, right? They're not going to be relevant for the next turn. They will be relevant later on, right? And I think it's pretty obvious you pop Leia here. But Wedge is by himself. And if you take out Wedge, I think that's it. You just got to see.
I think Chertek probably bails just to get some cover.
Exactly.
Right? I think you do that. And you could even, I think you probably boost to rotate and fix your blinded. So you don't get shot, but you actually probably still get shot, so you focus because you're nervous. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And I mean, Grievous is fine. I think you just come in and just keep trying to shoot Wedge. Wedge it shields down, man.
Yeah.
And the problem is that
half. Yeah. But again, we've seen half points all day, right? When you have a tractored opponent, maybe on a rock with multiple guns, you're not going for half. You're going for the full thing right there. There's no such thing as regen. That's what makes this list so good, and that's why we're seeing that top 64 round of the World Championship.
All right.
Yeah, there's the Leia.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if there was ever a turn to Leia, this is it.
3K here.
180 stop.
Yep. Good call there. Just turning around.
Yep. I agree.
And then we'll see here for Chertek. Oh, going in.
All right.
Yeah.
He also could be like, I give up. He could be. He could also the boost in to not get shot by the thing.
He has bullseye anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, so he's avoiding one shot entirely. And if he doesn't die here, then he's never getting shot again.
Right.
Unless the Ewing super overcommits again, which he wants.
Yeah, he wants all of these ships to be looking
If he
the
trades
way,
Chertek for the Ewing to just be completely out of commission by stressing and turning, he's super in, right?
And just from a points perspective, even if Pierre kills the rest of Chertek here, not enough, right? Not enough to take the lead. Grievous, coming down here with Grievous, yep.
All right, so he did not commit to Wedge. That doesn't mean that Sunfac didn't commit to Wedge.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he did either. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he just was hoping to have Solus 1, and he's wondering if he has it on the Ewing. Because there's a real chance he alphas the Z.
The Z from
and
initiative,
then
yeah.
turns out that's a pretty good strategy, too,
Yeah.
for this for keeping
shot,
Chertek alive. Yeah, so he went with the evade instead of the focus just because, hey, I can't focus on offense anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, if you're just tuning in, Chertek blinded pilot fuel leak here. Opening the wings,
all right,
4K,
so opponent correctly remembered. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm just not that his opponent's dumb or guys. I just meant like it's things that you have to remember, that you have to go through your decision tree.
And again, we talk. The reasons we say is because that's what we're thinking as well. Like we're trying to remember the exact same thing that the players are trying to remember. And we'll see. Just one arc.
Yeah. So he didn't want to commit.
Yeah.
And because he said, hey, my opponent correctly remembers 4K. I don't want to be near Wedge anyway.
Exactly.
Right. I want 0. So now he can do lots of things. He can just sit there. We good. We good, guys. Yeah, might be picking his poisons. Yeah, he's deciding on tractors. He's deciding on just doing nothing. So he's doing nothing. So by the way, guys, he's hyper threatening. Yeah, he's hyper threatening Wedge next turn, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, tractor here on the Z-Wing doesn't move it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre mentioning might be dead before he can shoot. Recognizing that as well.
Yeah, so this is scary here. Like, how does it feel? How does it feel, Sunfac? Pseudo tractoring at its best. All right.
Hit crit. Yeah.
Pretty.
Those crits can. There could be straight crit in there.
And there's the evade.
Yeah.
I choose not to be critted.
Yeah.
Bold choice. And I imagine Pierre understands his win condition.
Ooh, has the pot shot. Yep. 2v2 here. Wings are closed.
Nope.
Just crit.
Do
again.
Do it. That's a real. No, not a real crit. Still shields.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has
no,
not.
it's taken every range 3 pot shot all day long. So blinded pilot shot from Chertek.
See what's in the box. Not much.
Just the one, yeah. Just the one.
Also not
yeah.
much. All right. He needs a lot
Looking
here.
at Grievous or the U-Wing, right?
Yeah, but he needs the alpha. He just wants to know if he has the Solus one. Now I think he's wondering, should he try and damage the U-Wing
Because
really
it's on
hard?
shields now. It can get half really easily.
Yeah, I think he's just wondering, should he like plow this thing hard?
Exactly,
because he doesn't think he can kill the Zed.
So range 2 shot 3 dice versus 1.
Yeah, because he needs to completely get all 3 hits and
Pierre
blanks.
has to have no
complete
paint
blanks.
at all.
Yeah. But the other thing is, I like the idea of making the Z spend its focus, because it also increases your chance that Chertek lives with the evade, right? Because then he doesn't have mods on offense. You're just increasing the odds that Chertik lives again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I prefer that. Like, he's just worried about the Nick. He's worried about Sunfac taking damage. He's just trying to pick his poison, right? He's just like, which odds do I want higher?
Yeah. Again, Paul just talking out loud, talking through all of his options here.
Ooh.
Oh, I think he's declaring Cassian. Yep.
We're into
range
Cassian,
1
guys.
Cassian with focus.
There it is.
Okay, yeah. Again, will live here, but that U-wing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Finally gets a natural
there's
evade.
now a real universe that Chertik just doesn't live here.
Yeah.
And now Sunfac's position is far scarier than it used to be because the U-wing gets to come in and the Z gets to come in. Because I liked the threat on Wedge for the next turn. Like, it's a real threat. Like, the Rebel 1 straight's a real.
So range 3 Sunfac on Cassian, range 1.
Yeah.
Oh, range 3 on Sunfac.
Yeah, he understands his win condition.
Yep.
If Sunfac leaves, Wedge is the alpha dog on the table.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Now this crit's coming around. Let's see, Paul throwing his dice around. Okay.
Hit crit.
Yep. Oh, and there's the crack shot. Hit crit.
That is pretty bad.
Yeah. Does live. Damage engine a little tough there on their dial. Yep. Very tough on their dial, actually.
Good thing they do have a lot of blues, but you can't ever tractor with the stress. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hit crit after the focus onto.
So he dies.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a dead Chertek
So
here.
this is very bad position for Paul. I'm thinking about just board position for Paul.
So let's see. Really great turn for Pierre.
Those crack shots have really done a lot of work.
Yeah, the 2 crack shots used on Cassian and Wedge have been incredibly influential, right?
Because before this, that's why I'm saying maybe you just plow into the Z to possibly alpha it, and that may have happened.
Yeah.
This 3 bank basically super threatens Wedge. Now, I mean, you can still do it. That threat range did, but yeah. This is the U-wing just comes Jaws music, right?
Yeah. So now that there's no threat here, now Grievous should Grievous turn around here?
I mean, I think the answer is he can just sloop pretty safely.
He can sloop, but it's not. I don't think it's too consequential here for Pierre. I think Pierre looks at that and says, "Okay, yeah, I can take that."
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably alphas Cassian.
Right.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that is.
I think so. The thing is, Paul's pretty happy if he tries to block the sloop. I don't know if that blocks the sloop, but because again, that's just one less thing coming in. The thing is, Sunfac's safest position is near Wedge, but that damage engine means that Wedge might be able to start escaping.
And for those who haven't looked at the dial yet, those Nantex 1, 2, 3 hards in every direction. Damage end bumps it up. Those are white. Those are now red.
Yeah. And to really clarify here is that they will not be able to take the tractor array chassis ability now. If he does the stress, because he'll be stressed after the turn, he will not be able to meet the conditions to take the self-tractor to rotate.
Right.
Which means he won't be able to ensnare. It's the chain effect. So basically he can't, if he wants to rotate and or threaten and ensnare, right, or barrel or boost, he can't turn.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's 6 maneuvers off the dial. I mean,
functionally he'll never do a turn now.
Yeah.
Unless he's running away or something weird like that.
So options left there are the 1 to 3 banks and 2, 3 straights, right? Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I like the 3 bank for next turn, but once you're in close, it's a lot of 1 turns and 3 turns.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
So 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul is now lamenting that he probably could have rolled out of both arcs and not be shot. And yep. Paul correct, but hindsight.
Yeah. You mentioned it earlier. The thing with Nantex, you said exactly, was there's always danger, right? You're always nervous either way, and so just kind of a slight mistake there. Again, big situation, but maybe taking a slight mistake, not being able to alpha the Z, not being able to roll out of arcs there. Really tough position for Paul here. Now, Paul's ahead, right? If you just look at the points, 90 to 88. Again, 2-point swing. You're 1 away from Sunfok giving up another 39. And you're 2 away, I think, from Grievous. Yeah, from giving up half points as well.
Well, the irony here is if he can do something pretty good to Wedge here, sloop successfully with Grievous, he probably alphas Cassian with the sloop.
Right.
He easily kills his E.
Yeah.
And if he hurts Wedge pretty hard, he may actually just win the game with Grievous.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
He accepts all jousts.
Right.
I accept. Right? It doesn't mean it's correct. I mean, it's correct in the sense of winning the game. It doesn't mean he's like the alpha jouster, but you got to do it. And Grievous is ironically faster than Wedge is.
Yeah.
Boost focus, like chase it in a chase scenario.
Exactly. So it has that 5 straight, too. I didn't realize that. And he's got the reposition focusing. Yeah. It's a pretty good ship.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Under 25 minutes left to go here. Setting dials. Looks like everyone's set. Everyone's just looking over one more time before starting here. Big turn last turn if you're just joining in. Paul's still in the lead 90, but losing his Chertek from the shot from the Z. We talked about 1 away from full on Sunfok, 2 away, I want to say 2 away from Grievous for half. But again, 1 on the Z for giving half. But again, not very consequential, right? Just 12 points there. Cassian on 2, Wedge 1 away from half. Those are all very consequential now. So thinnest of margins here for both players.
I mean, there might be now. I mean, he knows the board. Maybe because he's trying to plan a hand for his damage engine. I don't know if this is worth doing. Maybe it's now like more of a 5 straight tractor this way, rely on the rear arc so that you do the bear roll. You still probably have the rear arc, do the shot just so you can continue banking. I don't know if that's even worth doing. He might just be selling out to do as much damage to Wedge as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Right? To get that in state.
Right.
I don't know what he's just doing a lot of calculations, right? And doing the best he can.
So starting with the Z here, just the one forward.
I'm pretty sure none of that. Yeah, that super doesn't block any sloops. I mean,
not on either direction, right?
Well, the key thing is that to block it, he would have to like sell out, right? So
just focus. Pretty conservative play here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 bank. Looking at Sunfok here, right? Really not paying any mind to Grievous.
Not much he can do about it.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't do this and try and finish off Sunfok, I mean, Sunfok gets away, right? Like he absolutely can win the Wedge fight. Yeah.
3 sloop. Wonder what to. Oh, there.
Yeah, he may have just gone with the one that was unblockable.
Yeah, and Pierre more marking. Yeah, he just didn't know which side the sloop was going to be on, so decided to just take the focus.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we'll see Pierre here with Wedge. Open S foils for forward.
I think he wants to be as close to his U-wing as possible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and
just
away from
get into my U-wing's arc.
Dual arc pressure, right? So
yep, exactly.
Sunfok comes there, covered by the U-wing.
Exactly that, right? That's exactly what he wants.
Yeah. I think pretty savvy play here from Pierre. Also, just get away from the rock, right?
Yeah, literally just arc pressure and might as well. Because there's an escape vector now for Wedge. That's what he wants.
Exactly, yeah. So even something as simple as just the 2 straight here, looks like he's going to get shot. And, again, on 1. Yeah, approaching 20 minutes left. Razor thin margins on either side. Target locking with Wedge?
I don't know. Huh.
Surprise didn't take a defensive focus here, right?
Well, if he's assuming he's getting tractored, 1 focus on 1 agility means that he doesn't believe.
Right. Yeah.
And so he wants the ability to shoot because you cannot alpha him off. So you can in the sense of like this 1 shot could kill him.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things that if he ever gets a shot, he wants it to be as good as possible on some
right. Oh, 4 straight.
Yeah. So he went with the straights.
Yeah.
He just get the block.
And right in front of the U-wing there.
Arc pressure.
Yep.
I agree with Pierre's absolutely the correct call there. Yeah, no kidding, you're rotating.
Tractor. Paul remarking here, he can roll that Wedge backwards and just accept the death.
I mean, he can tractor himself to the right.
Yeah.
And you still get the
We'll have gas cloud here for any sort of shot coming in.
maybe. So we don't see this part here, so he might have a clear shot on the backside.
Right.
No, there's no bullseyes. You will get bullseye.
Yeah.
That is correct. He's doing the math.
He's doing all this math on the table audio here. He's going through all the different directions here. Barrel roll wedge, barrel roll himself. And again, yeah, just keep cycling those plays
if
out
you're wondering,
loud. Yeah.
for the crowd, because you don't have. He's saying if I barrel roll myself, I won't get bullseye, but I'll increase the range. Right? Okay. If I barrel roll stay here, but barrel roll wedge, I can make it a bullseye shot, but I keep the range on the U-wing, basically sealing Sunfox fate.
Yeah.
So that's what he's going with. Now, the thing is, though, he does have the Grievous shot from downtown, probably range, it's borderline 3, with re-rolls, but it's 2 agility with a focus. But it also, again, makes him spin focus.
Yeah. Absolutely,
and, so
reducing the effectiveness of the shot, and we've seen a bunch of blanks come out this game already. Yeah, just 2.
He could kill Cassian before it fires.
Yeah.
That is what I'm getting at.
And Paul's staying here to accept that.
Well, he's saying if I kill Wedge, Grievous cleans the board.
Exactly.
Absolutely cleans the board.
Barrel roll that does get bullseye here.
Absolutely gets a bullseye. And he's just going for 5 dice naked straight into. Yep. I choose to do that to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You may. Here, hold this for me.
So 5. A little bit underneath, but okay, yeah.
Pretty average.
Yeah.
This is the problem, is now that Wedge stays on the board.
Yeah, no defensive focus there. Takes 2, half on Wedge.
Now I think he still probably should go. So this is the question: does he go for 2?
Range 2? Yeah, I think you have to, right?
So it's very likely he gets 2, and it's almost certainly he gets 2 here, if not 3.
Oh.
So I only can max get 2 here.
Yeah.
Now it's
2 rerolls from Grievous.
All right.
Okay, gets 2.
But the problem is that.
Then it gets the 1.
And he didn't spin the focus to do it.
Yeah.
This is the worst of all universes unfolding for Paul at the moment.
No hesitation here. 4 dice from Cassian. Checking for obstruction.
Yeah, and I don't think they have it. This is what I was saying. I don't think that they got it.
Yeah. So close here again.
He tried it. That's what Paul said. I tried the thing, and it didn't work. Out. And let's see what the.
Nope, out again.
We'll get there, guys.
We'll get there. Come on, guys. What's in the box?
It's
2,
a lot.
3.
That's what it answer.
Paul screaming, "Duncan, save me!"
Oh,
no! Just the 1 away. No natties in the chat. You'd almost rather have the blanks there, right? You'd almost have than to taunt you with maybe that 3rd pit. No, that's a focus. Yeah. Again.
I mean, the
Duncan choosing not to swoop in there at the last second, just taking the last one away.
So the chat with the sort of post hoc analysis, hey, should have focus fired Cassian. But yeah, that's post hoc analysis.
Exactly.
Right? He's trying to win the game.
Yeah, he's trying to make a winning play. That's not something I disagree with.
Because he has damage engine.
Yeah.
If that wedge gets away, I don't know
it's
how.
It's over. Yeah.
So he can't threaten Sunfac.
Exactly.
Or he can't threaten with
wedge.
Sunfac.
Yeah.
We will not repeat what Paul just said, though.
Yeah. Paul obviously a little bit frustrated, But again, look at the damage on Pierre, right? 2 on Wedge, 1 on Cassie. Just the thinnest of margins, just missing out on initiative killing that Cassie. Doesn't strip the focus here. If he strips that focus here again, if those dice rolls held, we're okay here, right?
So
we still got a ball game.
Here's the play. So the Rebel player should still correctly realize that he needs a 3K, 180 the where are we on Leia charges?
2.
So
yeah.
And he needs to come in with Wedge and Joust.
Right.
And so because he knows that he basically has to shoot Wedge.
Yeah.
He might kill Wedge. And he needs to do damage on that.
Well, okay, so let's look at the points, right? 127, 118 for Pierre. Paul.
But what I'm saying is without – so he could probably try and run Wedge, I guess. But, Grievous will solo these ships.
Yeah, Grievous. One more gives Paul the lead, right? So we still have to think about like points, right?
He can't.
Keep
I'm saying.
your- yeah.
I'm saying that Pierre can't run.
Yeah, exactly.
Functionally.
And I agree with you
He
because
can't.
Paul
he
can
can't
just do
feasibly
one.
run.
Likely going to do one, right? And then Paul can take the lead that way, and then or 2 on the wedge, take the lead that way. There's all sorts of options in here. One from the
I think
Bandit.
he has. I think he
one
has.
from the Bandit gets
I think
it too.
I think we have the K turn here, just 180, and I don't know any one of these sort of like. I actually would just go for straight full three bank,
yeah,
and get
target
the range
lock,
one.
yeah,
Range one, shoot me.
yeah. And again, here Grievous is on 5, right? Or Impervium
Actually,
plating
you're
up.
right with the target lock because
Yeah.
I'd be scared of Impervium throwing out 2 crits.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the turn
absolutely.
to re-roll crits.
Yeah.
Because man, you know how feel bad it would be like, oh yeah, crits, and he just tosses them out.
Exactly.
Throw
Yeah.
'em.
Just minus
Fake
2,
news.
literally minus 2 dice there. Those crits don't matter. We've seen it a couple times just with proton bombs and just 1 forward. Again, conservative here by Pierre.
I think he's
looking.
It gets the block.
Yeah.
It's a 2 forward for Grievous, so no mods.
Right.
Uh,
Target locking. Okay.
He might be.
Yes,
Okay.
and yeah,
Right,
so he does get the turnaround, going for the block, turnaround.
So no, he's going for the no mods here.
Yeah. Again, no Leia, so Leia's only on 2. We'll have it next turn though.
Maybe.
Yeah, correct.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's the because I mean
Let's
he's
see.
going to take the target of opportunity. Oh.
He's
Yes,
gonna, yeah, he's
still
still
blocked.
still blocks.
It blocked the 2 and the 3. Yep.
Again, for those
And
just,
he's going to have to shoot Wedge.
Yeah.
Because Wedge will kill Grievous. Like
Right.
that's a thing that's going to happen. But Wedge, Grievous can, you know.
See 1 straight.
Uh-huh.
A little okay, 1 bank. Yeah, just making sure he has arc. A little bit conservative here.
Yeah, the distance.
Yeah.
I guess
Just
maybe
focus, yeah.
I'm wrong. Maybe the answer is like I reduce your agility, so I want as much agility as I don't know. I would have just.
Yeah. So 5 total health here. Range 2. They're going to check to make sure range matters. Pretty crucial here, I think. Yeah, range 2 in 3 versus 1. Let's see.
Come on, crits, baby. He took a focus.
Yeah.
Sorry, homing.
Oh,
it
there's a
is.
crit.
He's not spending.
He can't. Well, he doesn't have a focus.
No, he took the focus. I'm saying
took
he's
the
not
focus, yeah.
spending. He's nervous.
He's nervous for the shot back, right?
There it is.
Oh, there's the flip.
Spend it.
Okay,
Spend it.
Impervium plating is going to come into play here. There's the 1. Hit crit. Let's find out.
Panicked
Pilot. So unlucky for Paul.
Wow, Paul. He's living on some outside the. He's on a certain kind of the
Yeah.
bell curve here. At this.
Again here, getting half now on Grievous.
All right, he's killing.
Okay, yeah,
he's
for
killing
sure.
Cassian, so that's done.
Okay. Hit crit.
So no Leia.
Again, 147, 154. Panic Pilot can't turn back around. It's got Wedge bearing down on him.
So I don't know the answer here.
Oh, do you know the math on the number of ship versus pilot?
It's approximately 75%.
On the ship?
I don't know the exact percent.
Yeah.
It's 75, roughly 75%.
Tough here for Paul because that Panic Pilot now puts 2 stress tokens down. He was looking for a turnaround point here, right? Just to get points. Again, 147, 154. It's a close game, but that Panic Pilot throws a huge wrench in there. No slooping here. Do you just do the 4K here with the Z?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, turn off Solus.
Yeah.
He's 3 hull. Like, you have to hit pretty hard to, like, not die.
Right.
No mods.
There's always a chance here coming at the 10-minute mark of the game. Paul certainly feels like there's no chance left, but you've always got that. If you still got the 1%, you go for the 1% plays. We say it all week.
Yeah, the problem is I don't think there's any world leading block a 4K over himself.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe he blocks the wedge here.
I just don't see how he can. Like, the 4K over him is just, like, comically easy for Wedge.
Yeah. And yeah, that's exactly. Pierre identifies it perfectly.
There's just no world he
Comes
was
back
able to
around,
block
yeah.
the 4K, right? And that's really the problem. So
Now again, no mods here on this wedge shot. Looking for blanks here.
blanks and or just crits.
Yeah.
Or one crit.
Again, yeah, 2 impervium plating charges left still.
No,
There's a crit.
There's
Okay,
an
yeah.
awful lot of. I mean, he only has 3
Oh,
hulls.
yeah,
So
that's right. Reroll from Souls.
that's it. And he only had 3 hulls,
Yep,
so
and
the hits
that's
alone
it.
kill him. That's the game. That's just
Yeah.
And that's
And
it.
there's the game there. What a great game. What a
That was it.
close game to the very end here. Paul's World Championship run ends here in the top 64. Pierre moves on to the round of 32. Congratulations to him. So close, Travis. Look at this damage here. Look
I
at it
know.
at the end state here. 1 away, 2 away from wedge. Cassian was 1 away from an influential shot on Sun Fok, right? Who was also 1 away.
And also Paul identifying that had he identified the tractor in the game, he would not have been shot by either wedge or
Right.
Cassian. Would have been out of range.
Yeah.
Now we'd have a different board state,
Sure.
right? Because he would have been farther away, etc. But that was a crucial turn. That was the 3 damage on, including the damage engine.
Yeah. So thank you guys for following us here on Gold Squadron Podcast coverage of the World Championship. I'm Nami. This is Travis. We're going to pass it back to Dion. We're going to come up real quick here. 8 minutes left in the round. We'll be back with top 32.